So in this video we'll be replacing a front main engine seal on a 2010 TDI. So if you're doing it at home, you need to start a project a day prior by visiting a friendly air conditioner dealer and discharging the AC system. Then you start by removing the front. You can also remove the back pan and removing the bumper. The bumper is a T30. As you can see, a bit of oil leak, and also my belt exploded. You can see the engine was all covered in oil, so we're hoping it's a front main seal, splattering it all over the place. Anyway, just removing all the top retaining bolts from the bumper, just T30. You can also go ahead and remove headlights. Technically, headlight removal is easy. You just unclip that white clip right there, just right there. Remove this wiring harness and pull out the headlight. Sometimes removing this wireless harness could be a pain in the butt. You just have to press on the side. Can't really see it. Press on the side and pull it out. I'm using a small screwdriver to help pry it open. So now it's disconnected. You can see my clip is slightly broken, so I'm using a little to pry it off. And then the headlight just comes out. Oh, fucking A. Anyway, it just comes out. There's a few, hard to see, a few T25s around the wheel well. There's a couple of screws holding it on the front. When you're removing radiator, that's the only funny connector. You're supposed to press on it and release, but you probably can't if your car is old. So use a little pick to pry from the inside to get it out. Easier with two people. One holds the bumper, one removes the plug. When removing rebars, the bolts are 16mm, which is not standard, but 5/8 fits close enough. Disconnect the horn. Remove the little plastic crap.
You have a box for the bumper, right?
Remove those bolts. You can leave the headlight alignment bolts in. Don't need to remove those. A whole bunch of pain in the butt screws to get this little piece of crap out. Front and back. And you would need to remove the oil line for the cooler here to get it out. When removing that little bracket that holds the rebar, there's a little metal pin in the back. I don't know if you can see getting to it, but it looks like that. You gotta get it out.
Well, I try to get it from the top.
And then you can remove. Sure, the battery has been unplugged for 15 minutes. Remove the airbag sensors on the front. That's it. You have to unplug and remove the lock from here. And carefully open the radiator. Now that you got it, that big piece of plastic is now available. You get access to radiators and stuff. So hopefully our initial plan works. Drain the radiator. Didn't disconnect the AC, so maybe you don't have to drain the AC. But anyway, pushed everyone forward, pushed all the stuff forward. You can see it's covered in freaking oil. Now would be a good time to replace your belt tensioner and your water pump, but we're replacing the water pump as well. And hopefully it gives us enough space to remove the... Anyway, get there. Removal of the flywheel. Sorry, I forgot to film it, but it's pretty simple. All it has is a bunch of 12-point, or is it called triple square, T30 screws. You just unscrew them and just remove it. There's no special tools required. It just comes off. Then you have the seal. As you can see, it's removed already. Again, unfortunately, forgot to remove. All we used is a little pick like this. Put a hole in a rubber and just pull it out. Nothing special at all. No special tools needed to remove it. So when it comes to seal, I purchased this seal. It comes in a plastic thing like this. Supposedly this is the installation tool, this plastic thing. It sits just over the crankshaft and requires no lubrication. You don't put any oil on the inside or outside of the seal. You see? It kind of goes over the crankshaft, then you push this seal on, and then you remove the tool. That's the theory. Now, if you're already at this stage, a good things to do, the easiest things to do for replacement would be pulleys, belt tensioner, thermostat. Thermostat is pretty easy. Just 3 screws, comes off, put a new one in, done. Belt tensioner is good if it's old. It's a little bit expensive, about 150 bucks, depends where you buy. And there's just 2 bolts, comes out, you replace it. Sorry, water pump is this. Water pump is dead simple to replace. Remove the pulley with 3 bolts, throw a new water pump in, and done. Ideal time to do alternator, because it's right here, but it is about 300 bucks, so it's not cheap. But super accessible with everything removed. And of course little sensors like this sensor. Actually not sure what it is for. And check that this seal is not leaking for you, because right now it's open. You can just pry the seal open and put a new one in.
This is marked.
Just have to switch to rubber hammer mallet here. If you want to ensure the precision depth, use what's the thing called?
Micrometer. Vernier caliper.
Use a caliper to check the depth.
Also, the battery is dead. Okay.
Yeah, use to check the depth on all sides, just to be 100% sure the seal is set even. Just putting the wheel back on, and there's a good package down here, Volkswagen. This is M10 12-point. Couldn't find the exact torque on this thing, but a few websites mention about 22 Newton meters or something like that, 24, 25. So just tightening it up without a torque wrench, just using a star pattern until it's like reasonably tight. Then you just slap a new belt. So the only funny part is, for the belt tensioner, for here you need a T60, and there's a belt routing if you want to take a look. And also, to make life easier, otherwise I don't know how to, you need to remove those bloody connectors. Yeah, if you're doing it off car, it's a bit of a pain in the butt because you have to pop up all those wires. But for now, easier to remove the bracket if it's separate. So when you're putting stuff together, it's basically reverse of taking apart. Big pain in the arse is when you put the rebar on, getting that back clip on. I don't know how the heck factory did it. You can see it's right there. Because intercooler is in a way. So what I did is take out the rebar all the way out. Yeah, put a clip back on, just barely enough space. Push the rebar back in, and then use a flat screwdriver to pry it on against this. Basically something like that. Oh my god. It's hard to get it in there. But yeah, basically use a screwdriver to push it on. It's not the fun one. Or the inside and clamp is much easier because you can get it from the back to clip it in. Progress is happening. There are no real tricks. Just assembling the intercoolers, the wires. There's some funny stuff with the wires. This piece on my end was broken, so because it's broken, it's easy to put in. We're just working around it. If yours is not broken, I don't know. So now is everything complete? Kind of final thoughts on a process. I would set aside a good maybe 5 hours to 8 hours to do it at home yourself first time. It's easier with 2 people, of course. I don't know if you can do it without removing all the stuff we did. You might be able to get away with removing all this intercooler contraptions. So this, the intercooler pipe, the intercooler, the fans, if you can get them to come out, and I don't know, I have not tried, there is just enough clearance right here to do the job. But maybe not. If I was doing it again, I'd probably do the same extensive process. If your car is rather old, as part of the process, you can also replace a radiator because you pretty much get the radiator out. And if you did remove the condenser, if you did drain the AC system, you can change a condenser at the same time. It's not super expensive, and it might be good proactive maintenance, except instead of doing it again. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully somebody will find it helpful, or at least a little bit entertaining.